Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be planning on doing 2 looks with 1 palette. And today the palette that we're going to be going in with today is the Tarte Reflections palette right here. This is Tarte's 25th anniversary palette, and this is what it looks like on the outside. Again, you can already see I've opened this. You can see all of my fantastic fingerprints on here. I love this type of packaging because of the way it looks, but I also absolutely can't stand it because of these right here. I can't stand when there's fingerprints everywhere. I don't like it. So when we open the palette, you do get a huge mirror. It does come with the protective sleeve on it. And then this is the color story right here. Sorry about blinding you. Blinded by the light. Right. So I think the color story is really pretty. I really like all of the shimmers in this palette. I personally love the color story. You do have your neutrals in here, but you also have some pops of color, and I do appreciate that, and I also love the mirror that they have in here. So in this palette, you're going to be getting 16 shimmers, and the rest are going to be matte with a total of 28 shades. And these are the swatches of this palette. I think for the most part, these swatched really nicely. I didn't really have a problem with any of them. And I think that the shades are absolutely beautiful. I think Tarte has a really nice shimmer formula, and their mattes usually are really creamy and blendable. A lot of them, especially the darker shades, are really highly pigmented, so you need to go in with a light hand. But they do offer really good transition shades in here, and I like the fact that with this palette you can take it from a daytime look to a nighttime look very easily. So I'm going to be doing 2 separate looks. I've already primed my eyes with the AOA Perfect Eyeshadow Primer, and I've also set just right here in my crease area. So I'll have everything that I'm wearing otherwise linked and listed down below, and let's go ahead and get started. So I think to begin with, I think I'm going to go in with this shade right here, and this is called Unstoppable. So I'm just going to put that Unstoppable shade right here in my crease. I really like Tarte's quality in their eyeshadows. I think they're usually pretty nice, and I have a couple of their other palettes that I really like. I have the Man-Eater one with more of the fall color story, and then is it the Nightfall palette? I forget the name of the other one in that more purple type packaging. But I really like those palettes. I think they're absolutely beautiful. And I have a couple other ones on the way from Tarte that were on sale, and I think it's like their Glam palettes. So both of them were on sale for $25. So I think that shade laid down really nicely. It's just your standard good crease shade. There is a little bit of kick up in the pan, but nothing too terrible. So I think that the next shade that I'm going to go in with is going to be the shade right above it right here, and this shade is called Worthy. So I was pretty excited today. I was actually able to start my new job yesterday. I work in healthcare. I'm also started working for a company that does case management for individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities, and I'm really excited for this job. There's just something about that population of people that's just very near and dear to my heart, and they're super fun. You know, some of them can be little crazy, but they're normally really good people, and I'm excited, but also because I get to work from home, and I'm so excited because me and my terrible social anxiety, I feel like half the time I can't even step out the door without the moment I see my neighbors, I'm like, nope, turn around and just walk right back inside. Because that's the kind of person that I am at home, which is kind of an oxymoron. You know, I work in healthcare. I'm technically a public servant, and I deal with people all the time, and I'm usually really good with people, but when I'm at home in my own little corner of the world, I see people and I'm like, nope. So next, just to blend out that shade, I'm going to go in with this kind of cream colored shade right here, and this is called Be Kind. And yes, 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 please be kind. Especially if you work in healthcare, I feel like there's, at least in my experience, there's oftentimes been a lot of people who are not kind. And, you know, I think to work in this kind of field, or any kind of field where, you know, you're dealing with the general public or just people in general, I think it's important to be empathetic and to be kind to other people, because you never know what everybody else is going through. So that's going to be like my transition shade, using those 3 shades right there. And now I'm going to grab a e.l.f. crease brush right here, just one of the small ones, to get into my crease, because we got the hooded eyes and I love me the small brushes. So I think next, just to deepen up the outer corner just a little bit, I think I'm going to go into this shade right here up in the corner, and this shade is called Trippin' with Tarte. So I'm just going to be putting the shade here in the outer corner. And so far all of these shades are pretty pigmented and they all blend really nicely. A little bit of this shade does go a pretty long way, but that's how that shade is laying down, and I think it looks really nice. Really pigmented, so it'd probably go in a little lightly. So now I'm just going to work on blending that shade out, and I'll be right back. So now that that shade is blended out, I'm going to go ahead and put some NYX glitter primer on my lid. So next I'm going to go in with this shade right here, and this says 1BRAPT, which I would assume stands for 1 bedroom apartment. And I'm just going to take that on my finger. Really pretty shade. I really love like these kind of shimmery chocolate type of colors. And I'm just going to put that here onto the outer portion of my lid, overlapping the dark brown matte shade. That's a really pretty color. A little bit of fallout from this one, but it's not a big deal. Yeah, that's a really pretty shade. I love shimmery chocolate brown shades. So I think that the next shade that I'm going to go in with is going to be this shade right here. And this is called NYC. I'm going to take that and put it directly next to that shade. That's really pretty. Kind of like a gunmetal type of brown color, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Yep, a little bit of fallout just right here, but nothing too major. I'm going to go in with this gold shade right here, and this is called Community. But anyway, going back to my job, I'm really excited to be able to have this opportunity. You know, I've been in healthcare for about 5 years now, and at least where I live, it's really difficult to find jobs that let you work from home. And if you work in healthcare, you know how, especially in nursing, you know how quickly people can get burnt out doing things. I did bedside for 5 years, and as of this moment right now, that's enough for me for the moment. So that's how that shade looks. I really like how this looks. So I'm going to clean this up just a little bit, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've wiped away the fallout from underneath my eye, and now I'm just going to add a shade to the inner corner and the brow bone, and then we'll do mascara and the lower lash line. So I am pretty fair skin toned, but I'm going to try to go in with the very top corner shade up here. It might be a little too dark for me, and this is called Celebrated. And I'm going to put that to the brow bone and to the inner corner. I'm going to take this pencil type brush right here, and I'm going to get a little bit on my brush, and then I'm going to spray it and put that into the inner corner. Yeah, might be a little dark for me, but I've already committed, so we're gonna make this work. Really pretty shades. Maybe just ever so slightly too dark in my skin tone, but that's alright. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and apply my mascara and I'll be right back. Alright, now we'll go ahead and finish the lower lash line. I did go ahead and apply my mascara and I went in with the Essence. This is the What the Fake mascara. This is my favorite mascara at the moment. And then for the lower waterline, I went in with this I Am Resilient eyeliner in metallic bronze by Real Her. This is what the shade looks like right here. Really like this formula from Real Her. They have a really creamy formula, not sharp, none of that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the lower lash line. And I think that I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. And this is called Park Avenue Princess. And this is the completed look number 1. And I personally really like it. The shades were super easy to blend out. No problems really too much with fallout, a little bit on the first and second shimmer shades, but none otherwise. Shades blended really, really nicely. I don't feel that Tarte necessarily needs a glitter primer, but I just do that with all of my shimmers anyways, because I always tend to find that even if they're not kind of the more crumbly type of shimmers, stuff always ends up falling into my eyes, and I don't like the feeling of stuff in my eyes, so that's why I always wear a primer. But I really like this. I think it looks really beautiful and I dig it. So now we're going to be moving on to the second look. On this one I want to do a little bit more color, so I'm going to start, I'm going to go a little bit deeper this time in the crease. I'm going to take this shade right here, and this is called Hustle. So I'm going to go back to my Wet n Wild brush right here and put that in the crease. I think I was first exposed to Tarte actually when I started getting my BoxyCharm subscription, I think a year or 6 months or so after the company had started. I got one of those face palettes that when you open it, there's like the mirror on either side, and then there was, I think, 2 bronzers, 2 blushes, and 2 highlighters in there. I think I still have that palette. I'm not saying that it's not expired, but I do like Tarte's quality. I think they have really good bronzers. I love their Park Avenue Princess personally for my fair to light skin tone. I've never really had a problem with any of their palettes. The only ones that I've ever kind of had a problem with were their holiday palettes. I remember when I first started getting into makeup, my husband got me one of their holiday collections, and it was like the one where you open it, had like the little ribbon almost in the center, and then you would pull it open and it opened like all 4 corners like an origami piece. Had one side had, I think, a blush, and another had a highlighter. One had like I think a mascara and an eyeliner, and I forgot what the other one had, but those shadows weren't exactly Tarte's formula that we know and love, because I was kind of skeptical. That was my very first eyeshadow palette from them, and that made me pretty skeptical to try anything else from them. But then I think the very next like actual eyeshadow palette I got from them was also my BoxyCharm, and the palette was definitely better than that palette. So going back into this palette, I'm just going to go into the shade Worthy up here, and I'm just going to blend that out just a little bit. But I'm excited for those other 2 palettes to come in. I feel like the palettes that Tarte has done recently that have more of like the rounded type of pans in them have been some of their best quality shimmers that they've had. Because I absolutely love like my Maneater palettes. I think they're absolutely beautiful, especially the shimmers. Like, they are gorgeous. So that shade is not blended out. I'm going to go ahead and fix this real quick and I'll be right back. Why does this eye always have to be the problem? I have one eyebrow. My eyes and my eyebrows are the opposites. This is my better eyebrow. This my good eye.
Believe it or not, this my good eye.
This is my bad eyebrow. This is my bad eye. Everything on this left eye blends absolutely terribly, and I don't understand why. It's not fair. No. Okay, after some finessing we've got that blended out. Really like the shades. So now I'm going to take my e.l.f. crease brush and I'm going to go into this shade down here, and this is called Lights, Camera, Lashes. And I'm just going to kind of stamp this into my crease area right here. Kind of changes the tone from like a kind of a coolish tone purple to a more warm tone purple. So now that I've stamped that in there, I'm just taking a little bit of that purple on my brush and I'm going to work on blending that out. I'm going to take a little bit of that last shade called Hustle and blend it on top of that purple. A lot of times when I do blending, sometimes it can take me like a good, I don't know, 10-15 minutes sometimes blending out both eyes together just to make sure that I get a blend that I'm happy with. Now to darken up the outer corner, because I'm going to go in with a primarily purpley pink type of look, might even do some of that copper kind of color. I'm going to go in with this shade right here, and this is called Entrepreneur. And it's kind of this deep brown, almost kind of plum type shade, and I'm going to put that into my outer corner. You know, surprisingly, I'm not often a neutral type of person when it comes to my eyeshadows, but whenever I see these palettes come out, I don't know, there's like a greater sense of FOMO that I just feel like I absolutely have to have it, and sometimes I do have a problem with, a lot of times I do have a problem with overconsumption, but lately I've been kind of working my way through my makeup, trying to get rid of some stuff, and I did have a lot of stuff that was unopened that I'll probably end up donating to like local women's shelters. So I'm going to go back in with a little bit of that last purple shade called Lights, Camera, Lashes, and I'm just going to blend that on top of that. And I'm going to take a little more of that Hustle shade, which was that kind of brick terracotta type color. And I'm going to blend on top of that. And then we're going to take that last shade before that, and we're going to blend that out as well. Happy with how that looks. The matte's blended out really nicely, and I really do love like this kind of purple and warm brownish kind of color combination. And now I'm going to put on some glitter primer onto my lids. Alright, and now that I have my glitter primer applied, I'm going to go in to some of these beautiful shimmers. And I think for the first color I'm going to go in with is going to be this purple shade right over here, and this is called Marine. So I'm just going to take that on my pinky finger and again go towards the outer corner. Gorgeous. So now going back into the palette, I really want to try like this pink shade down here. And this is called Enough. And I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it right next to that kind of purple shade, slightly overlapping it a little bit. Oh, I really like that. It has like a kind of yellowish type of, almost like glitter to it, but it doesn't, I don't think it's quite glitter. That's really pretty. Yeah, I really like that. Alright. And then next I'm going to go in to this beautiful copper shade up here at the top, right here. And this is called Lift Up. Ooh, that is a beautiful shade. And I'm going to take that and put it right here into the inner corner. Yep, good decisions were made. That's gorgeous. I absolutely love like these high foil type of kind of coppery shades. I think they're absolutely beautiful. And now to be a little different, I'm going to go back into the palette and I'm going to go into this shade right here. This is called Tartlet, and I'm going to ever so slightly pat that mostly over the pink and the purple to kind of give it that somewhat bluish pink kind of shift to it. And I might slightly put it over the copper, and I'm just going to pat it a little bit over the pink and the purple. Yeah, that's beautiful. And why not? Let's do a little bit over this. Ooh, that's really pretty. Yeah, I like that. Kind of gave it a, it's still a copper, but now it looks a little more kind of like a pinkish kind of copper color. And I really like that. So now to do my inner corner and brow highlight, I'm going to go back into my kind of pencil brush and I'm going to try one of the other light shades in here. And it's going to be this shade right here. And this is called Empower. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. And then a little bit up on my brow right here. Yeah, I really like that. That's really pretty. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on this side with the mascara, and I'll find a eyeliner to put in the waterline and I will be right back. All right, same with the fake mascara by Essence, and for my lower waterline, I went in with this e.l.f. No Budge Matte Eyeshadow Stick, and this is in the shade Bombshell, and it's this really pretty kind of like light pink type of color. So now I'm gonna go in and finish off my lower waterline. I think I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, and this is called Limitless. I think that this would be a good palette for people who are a little more intimidated by color, because you definitely have some good pops of color in here to allow you to kind of experiment without being a little, you know, too over intimidated. And this is the final look number 2. And I personally really like it. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I love the different pops of purple in here. I love the pink, and I absolutely love that copper shade right there in the inner corner. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys on out and give you my final opinions. Alright guys, so regarding the Tarte Reflections 25th Anniversary Palette, I think that this is absolutely beautiful. Yes, it is a little leaning more towards the neutral side, but I absolutely love the pops of color in here, the pinks, the purple, especially the copper shade up here. You do have some satins in here. You have your good standard shimmers, and you also have a couple really nice, more foiled type of shades. Overall, I think this is a fantastic palette, and I definitely am happy to have it here in my little corner of the world. I think, again, it's really great if you are just kind of getting into color or want to explore a little more of the color, because you can do, you know, like this side right here, a little more kind of pops of color. Not saying that this is exactly work wearable, or you can do more of like the neutral, glam, or everyday type of eye looks. So overall, I'm glad to have this in my collection. I think Tarte did a fantastic job with this palette. And let me know what you guys think of this palette. Are you guys going to be picking it up? Have you already picked it up? Let me know in the comments. So thank you guys for watching another one of my videos today. I hope you guys will like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.